Right, this is Robbie MC from Underground Sounds Radio down at DOA Studios in Bolton. I'm about to give you half an hour of an insight into local hip-hop and regional artists. Today, we've got a very special guest who's known locally as Corey Brown, aka Superlative. I'd like to pass it over to himself to let us know how he started his music and what got him into it.
How you doing? Yeah, I'm Superlative. I think with my music, I originally started as a drummer, so I wanted to be a drummer at first. Wasn't the most richest of families, so I still wanted to do drums. Drum lessons were free in school, luckily, so that was blessed. But then I started going into beatboxing because I didn't actually have the drums to be able to practice how to play the drums when I was at home. So it's kind of just started off as that. Went into beatboxing. I'd say when I was in like year 7, I was beatboxing, doing stuff like that. I wasn't really that good at it. Didn't really consider it like, I'm a musician, for example. But then when transitioned from beatboxing, started doing performances as I moved up north, because we moved from Wolverhampton up to Bolton. And then, yeah, kind of started getting performances. I met you at quite an early age as well, after going to like Harmony, for example, and that sort of thing. I was still only at that point a beatboxer per se, produced a little bit, but just for fun. And yeah, that's kind of how I got into music. I suppose I had a few influences just from my mom listening to like reggae and that sort of thing, and my brother listening to all sorts of music, but the production side kind of just come from, I don't know where it came from, just inside somewhere.
Definitely something within you, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the beatboxing side of things, when I first met you, one of the things that I heard about you was that you'd done a big show. You opened up at a local charity event, and that was for a big band, rather than me telling who it was. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, from what I remember, it was a little boy called Lamano. We were raising money. I think he had cancer at the time. I think it was raising money for, obviously, Lamano and the cause as well. And I think Diversity came down. They did like a performance, which was obviously dancing.
Yeah, amazing group then, by the way.
Yeah, it was mad, to be fair. Like, I completely forgot about this like experience. And it was kind of like, I think it's just because I was beatboxing at the time. Now I've rapped and done all of this. I kind of forget, you kind of forget about your little successes along the way and that sort of thing. And yeah, it was mad. We opened up for I think Monique was there as well. Me and Monique, we did like a duo. She used to sing, I used to beatbox, and that kind of elevated us into getting a couple more gigs doing that sort of thing as well, opening up for more dance groups, more like, what would they call it, Sunshine and that sort of thing at the time. But from that Diversity performance, that's where...
Was that Sunshine Dance Studio?
Yeah, that was in Bolton as well. I think they had one in...
Josh, wasn't it?
Josh, yeah, I can't remember his last name. Yeah. And I think there was a lady called Sam there as well who we used to speak to. She used to kind of get me the gigs. But yeah, the Sunshine, I think they were the ones that, through Sunshine was how we got the Diversity gig. But in turn, then we ended up being able to do like Sunshine Christmas gigs off the back of that and that sort of thing. So
that was good for you as a beatboxer at the time, coming through as a producer. Yeah. Would you say that it was coming through as a beatboxer, that's what inspired you? As you were saying, you had production skills inside you to let it all out?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I suppose the beatboxing always helped. Like, I think if I didn't beatbox, I wouldn't be the performer that I am today without doing it. But I didn't have what I'm doing now in the future, like mindset. I always just wanted to kind of just be a beatboxer, just doing beatboxing. And then the production side of it, I don't know, like... They were never really both meant to be together kind of thing. I just wanted to be a beatboxer based on the fact that I wanted to be a drummer. And then the music production side kind of just come through naturally after that. So I don't even know what inspired that.
So on top of the beatboxing side and the production side, obviously I know you, and a lot of people from Bolton know you as a hip-hop artist. Yeah. What other styles do you work with? And what do you feel that's your like calling card? Can you see yourself going in any different directions?
Well, at the moment I'm experimenting. Well, like you said, I started off hip hop quite. The Written Free Sundays project, that was hip hop primarily. The Can I Be Excused project that's still not out yet, that should be out. That's primarily hip hop as well. And then along the way, I kind of realized that I don't really like this whole tough rapper kind of image. I don't really portray that anyway, but I just don't like for example, I'm going off a little bit, but I'll come back. People always come up to me like, oh, why are you not on GRM Daily? Or why are you not on this? And why are you not associated with these people and doing that? And for me, it's like, I don't really want to be a part of all that, like, oh, rap is the streets and rap is this. And yeah, it is. And that's where it kind of come from. But I didn't necessarily go through all of this. So I don't really want to be rapping about that and being with those people.
Different life, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think somewhere along the way, I kind of realized that after listening to artists like Daniel Caesar and even Anderson .Paak, for example, I realized, and Tyler, the Creator's new project, I suppose, he kind of plays around a lot more with like the singy kind of stuff and that sort of thing. And for me as a producer and as a rapper and a songwriter, I kind of want to go off into that like aspect and go off into like more soul, R&B, not so much dance, but just
more of the smoother side.
Yeah, the kind of stuff that makes you like, you know,
Bob your head.
Yeah, like the
Chill.
9 p.m. stuff that you put on with you, like with
Smooth
your
FM
girlfriend.
vibe.
Yeah, like something
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, and still be able to rap and have my style on it, but still maintain that. That's kind of what I'm going for at the moment.
Well, that's what I like. It's kind of like a unique feel, really, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It kind of sells you as an artist, so you're not kind of tying yourself into the same cliche style.
Yeah.
But you're in the same respect, you're coming at yourself. So obviously, you've just touched on a few artists there talking about who inspires you. Do you want to give us a little bit more of an insight into that?
Yeah, definitely. In terms of rap, I think people will notice this anyway. I have more of like an American style of rap with an English accent. So I was inspired by, it sounds so cliche, but like Kanye West. If I'd never heard College Dropout album, I don't think I would have ever have got into rapping. And then when Kendrick Lamar came, I didn't really know much of Kendrick Lamar before I went to see him live. And then I went to see him live and I thought, yo, can I swear?
Not really.
No. Okay.
Unfortunately, we'll put a blooper in if he does.
Okay, I thought, Jesus. I was so blown away. I saw his live band and everything. I realized like, this is where I could be. If I really push it, this is where I could see myself in a couple of years' time. And I thought it just took me in such a different direction with music. I kind of wanted to just bin beatboxing, not throw it away, but like forget beatboxing, forget this. This is my calling. I want to rap and I want to get on stage and just have this energy. And so I think when I saw Kendrick Lamar do that live, and then when I saw J. Cole do that live, it was like, this is kind of what I want to do. And then obviously with your UK artists being like Skepta, I'd say looking up to Skepta is kind of, if I didn't look up to Skepta, then I'd just be rapping in an American accent right now.
Right,
but
okay.
I think without listening to like Skepta, that's what keeps me English with an American influence.
Yeah, which is good, isn't it? Because you've got to stay true to your roots, so to speak. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of that side, music-wise, you've made quite a few mixtapes. Is that right? Have you worked on an album?
They're all projects for now. I like all the music that I've got, but I just don't think it's at the top of where I can be. Like, I want my album to be like the first album to be something that's actually like remembered, if that makes sense. So all these projects, they're cool, but I see them as like learning curves, and each one's, because I'm mixing most of them myself, they're all like learning curves and that sort of thing. So I forgot what I was saying. About
the kind of music that you're working on, the tracks and whatnot.
None of them I don't class any of them as like an album worthy tune yet.
Right, okay. So you're still working on it, yeah?
Yeah, not an album yet, but yeah.
Which is good. So in terms of artists that you work with, I think this could actually cover about another 5 minutes. I want to talk about yourself and your sister, Karis, for how well that you two have clicked together. From when I was running the event, Rep the Mic, I was picking out the right artists from Bolton and whatnot. And obviously, when I first heard you two together, I was blown away because obviously she's got a really soothing voice as a singer, and you as a rapper, and it's all produced by you, rather than me telling it. Take it over, mate.
Yeah, man. Well, obviously my sister, I met her when she was born, but
yeah, you go way back.
Yeah, we do. But I think out of all my siblings, me and my sister have always had like this special connection. Like, I don't know what it is. From when we've been young, we've always just buzzed off each other. Like, even from time when I went on holiday to Spain, she cried for the whole week because her brother Corey was gone. And I don't know, we always just had this real cool vibe. And I think for years, it didn't really resonate into music. We never really crossed paths on music. I was always doing what I was doing, and she was always kind of doing what she was doing. And she was into like ukulele music and all that type of stuff.
Different sounds, yeah?
Yeah, and just, we never really considered each other as people. Like, she always wanted to work with me because I was her older brother, and that's cool. And she messaged me this last night, actually, and she was just saying, I don't know, I was never really letting her come into my music, and I was not saying she wasn't good enough, but I was just saying, we're not right for each other yet. Like, I don't think your sound is right for my sound. And then eventually she started coming around my house more when I moved out, and I kind of found my sound a little bit more. And I found it really easy to work with in the studio. Like, if she had an idea, she'd be like, Corey, shut up. Like, do it like this. And I'd be like, cool, straight away. And I'd say, Karis, shut up. Like, do it like,
so you have a mutual respect and mutual understanding with each other, yeah?
With other people, say if we went in the studio and you had an idea, I'd maybe not want to tread on your feet and say, oh yeah, I'll try this. With her, no, that is so dead, do it again. You need that. And we just had that. It made it really easy to work with each other. And over time, when we started making like the Written Free project, she was such a big influence on that. We just maybe like little melodies, little harmonies, and just the visions that we had down to the recording of it. It was just such a me and my sister and my family project that, I don't know, man, it's just we've grown with each other. As I've grown, she's grown, and she's kind of helped me grow in a different way that I didn't realize I would have been able to go on. And now I write, like, we've just written a couple of songs together, so I've written a few tunes for her for like a solo project of her own. And I just feel like without her influences, I would never have been able to realise that I could write for other singers and that sort of thing.
Speaking of that, you're actually writing for other singers as well now, yeah?
Yeah, so her, my sister Karis, me and Sarah Angel, we've written a couple of tunes together. I'd say she was more the wordsmith on most of them, but just having that influence to be able to say, like, right, okay, maybe try it like this, or okay, maybe if you say it like this, it'll be a bit more addictive if you do the chorus a bit like this.
How to put it across, so to speak.
Yeah, and I think I've only met a few artists in that respect that I can kind of bounce off, and I can tell them to shut up, and they can tell me to shut up, and
you've got a mutual respect with each other, you know, because you're both on a professional level, you know, and you know what sounds right. You know if you sound right, you know if they sound right, or if it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you've got that level of understanding, then obviously you can speak out. Because if you don't speak out, then you've got to wait till the end result, and before you know it might be a complete waste of time.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be upset with the result.
You know, one thing what I have always buzzed off, you know, about you as an artist, is seeing how much time and effort and planning that you put in. I've spoke to you quite a few times in the past, you know, behind the scenes and whatnot, about the apartment sessions, yeah? That to me was brilliant when I saw that come out. The video that you put out on Facebook, it was all like self-made, a little home video there where you could see the time running in the bottom corner, very home production based, yeah. And how you were even spitting the bars off your phone. You know, it had that sort of like old school Wu-Tang vibe about it. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah,
because that's really big.
It's a mad one, really. Like, without sounding like, I don't know, well, we just threw it together, which is kind of the reality of it. Like, we lived in my old house, like me and Kelsey, my partner. We lived in an actual house. We loved it. It was great. Everything was amazing. We had a few complications in regards to living there. Nothing bad or anything. It just meant that we had to move out. The landlord had to get somebody else in. So that meant that all my music studio, right, everything we've done is now gone. So it was kind of like, right, where are we going to move into? We ended up moving into an apartment. Everything was a lot smaller. The studio is now kind of, our studio is our kitchen, is our bedroom, is our bathroom, is our...
all home-based.
Yeah.
All homemade.
Everything's
homegrown.
pretty much the same area. Everything's just one room in it. So there's no way you can be without hearing like music and that sort of thing. It's just all
sheer inspiration coming straight from the home.
Well, yeah. But I think with that, obviously, we just finished the Written Free project. I didn't want to do Written Free Part 2 just because I didn't feel like I was in that vibe. We just moved out the house. Everything had kind of changed. And I thought, well, what can we do? I was working quite close with my like good friend Josh. He helped me quite a bit at the start of apartment sessions as well. And it was like, I had my table, I had my lights. The lights didn't work around my table where they did in the old house, so we put them up on the wall instead. And that kind of looked nice. So I was like, right, well, why don't we just record it from here? You record me doing this, and we'll just see how it goes. And like I said to you earlier, I don't really drink. we had some amaretto just celebrating that we were moving in, and then that's why the first apartment sessions is just like quite a rough freestyle. It's like, you are the Jeep on roader, and it's like there's no chorus, there's no nothing in it. It's just that one take. Me and Josh were trying something out, really, really like just one-off-ish. And then,
who's Josh, by the way?
Josh Whitaker. He lives in Leeds now, but I wouldn't say at the start of everything taking off. I'd just say kind of when I started getting a bit more self-belief about myself was around the same time that Josh joined the picture. And from then he was just like a really great like helping force, driving us anywhere we needed to be, coming up with like great ideas, like just everything. Even when he's not around, like for example, the other day, I contacted his mom and she added me to the family Spotify just so that I don't have to pay for. You know what I mean? Like
nice,
little things, man. Like, and it's just so he's been around there from all of that kind of thing, and he's very open to ideas, and he knows that he can chuck 1,000 ideas at me and I might accept one of them. And I feel like those people are the people that you need around you, because you don't. If they throw one of their ideas at you and you say no, and they're like, oh, yeah, forget that guy. Oh,
it's better when you know him on a personal level,
Yeah.
isn't it, really? Almost like family kind of thing, because, you know, there again, like when you're working with somebody, you've got that vibe where you can speak to them and no problems, even if you don't agree. Yeah, all sounds bang on this, to be fair, mate. Seriously, there's one thing what I do want to touch on as well, is about your marketing side of the way you work social media.
Yeah.
He's on Facebook, you always seem like a man of few words and get a lot of likes, yeah, and I buzz off that, right? But more to the point is like when you went in for the Red Bull, was it a Red Bull rap competition?
Yeah, it was called Raise the Bar. I think that was last year. Once again, this was Josh. So when I said about is a thousand suggestions, one gets accepted. The Red Bull one, he dashed it at me for a couple. I think he gave me like 4 different competitions, and he's like, "Bro, try this one." I'm like, "No, bro."
So how did it actually work, the Red Bull side of things? Because I've seen a lot of people uploading videos, and there was all these statuses saying upload your 16 bar or your bars and your best bars, and is it based on how many likes or comments?
At first, so he messaged me saying like, "Yo, you should enter this competition." So what they were saying was you could upload a video, and I didn't realize I was like one of the first people to upload a video. So when we uploaded the video, it's like a 32 bar. They sent us like the instrumental, and you just got to like write over the top of it, record yourself if possible, and then just upload it. So I uploaded it, and I was like, there's like 3 people entered it. I checked after 2 days, there's still like 3 people. I was like, oh, mate, we've got this in the bag. Like there's only 3 people that have entered. Like it's supposed to go through to the top 5, so surely all 3 of us are going to get through. So I was like, why not? And then on like day 4, I realized that there's like an open day where all the artists get to go down to London to the Red Bull Studios, rap it there on the live stream. And I was like, oh mate, we've flopped this. We've entered it too early, and they're gonna go down, and everyone's gonna see them at Red Bull. It's gonna be on live stream. Everyone's gonna favor these people, high quality microphones. And Josh was like, nah, just trust it, bro. Trust like your video's good. Like your video's good. It's gonna get there. It went online, so everything got kind of passed around. I'm going to have to think about the order in which it went, because I'm not sure if the producers picked 10 people. I think the producers picked 10 people who they thought had good submissions. So Team Salute, they picked 10 people.
What was it picked on? Was it based on like your lyrical ability, your talent, your skill, your sound?
It must have been just what they thought was
marketable
for the sound that they were looking for, because the tune itself ended up being kind of directed towards like, it's called Take Time, so it's kind of directed towards like a girl, that sort of thing, which isn't necessarily the kind of thing that I would write about. So I wrote about the opportunity. They're called Team Salute, it was called Raise the Bar. So my first opening bars was like, first things first, I salute you, providing opportunities so we can bring the team through. And I had to scrap that in the end anyway, long story short. But that's what kind of got me through to the top 10 stage. So they must have seen it and thought, okay, we could kind of mold these lyrics into something that is a bit better.
So you did have an impact on it.
So, And then from there, it went to the public. So it got shortened down to the top 5 and it went to the public. And I was like, I can't believe we're this far.
And how many people did you get following? Because from what I remember, you seem to get a lot of people supporting you on that.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. They never, ever gave us the actual figures, and I think that was just because obviously there's 5 of us. They didn't want to dishearten one of us and be like, okay, you got the most and you got But all I know is there was like 70 people that originally entered, and then it got shortened down to 10, and then obviously we made the 5 cut. But the support from like my actual fans that I could see was mad. I can remember I was on the phone to a lady at the electricity company that we're with, and just before she went, after we paid our bill, I was like, "Oh, can you just do me one quick favor?"
Well,
and then she was like, "Yeah, I'm in the office right now. I've still got the recording on my phone." And she was like, "Yeah, I'm in the office now. I'll get everybody to do it."
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
I don't know if she ever voted, but she was called Annika. Okay. So if she did vote, then
your big shout, Annika. So seriously, once again, seriously inspired. I want to also let people know a little bit more about you as an artist and a brand.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get the way that you pronounce it wrong. It's Corey Brown, aka
Superlative,
right? Yeah. What does this mean?
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've been keeping tabs on, you've got merchandise. Do you want to explain a little bit about your merchandise and how people can get it?
Yeah. So the first bit, Superlative, to me, when I was in school, like in year 9, I think it was, I was called 10dB. And we were in English lesson, and my teacher was talking about superlatives, which, to my understanding now, I've kind of morphed the meaning of it, but it's still pretty much the same thing. It's kind of like the extremes, like if you're the worst or if you're the best, probably not the most creative words, but they're like superlatives, the extremes of both. And I kind of felt like I didn't fit in the middle. Sometimes I'm either feeling really, really great and really boisterous, or sometimes I'm feeling really poo, really pants. So I thought that's kind of me. And if you think I'm bad, then I hope you think I'm the worst. And if you think I'm great, I hope
so the worst of the worst, the best of the best.
So no matter what scenario I am, I'm the best. If you think I'm bad, I'm the best at being bad. And that's kind of what Superlative was, and that's how I've kind of adopted that. And I think that like sums up my personality a little bit now. But then aside from that, we've got like the motive, which is the message that we go along, which is SPR, which stands for Succeed in Pushing Reality. And that's kind of what I do my merchandise through. That's what I'm going to be doing the workshops through. So like the beatboxing, percussion and recording workshops, they'll be done through SPR, because I feel they are two separate brands, but they both represent, like, I feel like Superlative has the motives of SPR to succeed in pushing reality, but SPR itself is a brand that I kind of want to be its own thing, that it doesn't just have to be music related.
Because you have like clothes as well, don't you?
Yeah.
T-shirts, hoodies, jumpers.
Yeah, I was just about to move on to that. We've got like, I've got the original like Superlative clothes, the merchandise that you can get on like sprhub.com. And then we kind of moved on to a bit more. I had like a bit of beef. I'm gonna brush over it because I don't want to give this guy any light at all. But I had like a strange encounter with a person from Bolton anyway. He tried to like expose me for being in debt and all this sort of thing, which I didn't really think was a big deal. Everybody's in debt. You know what I mean? The way I see it, everybody around me and everybody I know is in debt in some sort of way. People are paying off their cars, people are paying off whatever. And anyway, he went about his shenanigans saying he's going to expose me and this and whatever. So instead of like letting the negative side take over, I decided, right, okay, well, when your video is going to come out about me and whatever, I'll just make my own shirt that says everyone's in debt. And then that's kind of what I did. I designed the shirt, everyone's in debt. It's been my best-selling T-shirt since then. And it's just kind of like flipping a negative to a positive. I don't want to let my brand be affected by anybody trying to throw any negativity on it. Even when you get in negativity, you can still succeed in pushing the reality, if that makes sense.
Yeah, man.
So we've got those shirts. We've got a couple of hoodies, like SPR hoodies, the Everyone's in Debt shirts. The Honest hoodie is going to be out soon. But you can get all of that on sprhub.com. And that's kind of just been designed by ourselves, shipped.
This is what I love about you, mate, seriously, and the people that you work with, you're all like self-made, you know, everything from your social media to your website, your merchandise, your music, your progress, and like you were saying about the workshop side of things, how did you get into this, delivering workshops?
I joined, well, it's funny actually, because I originally did something called GMAS, if you ever remember GMAS. It was like Greater Manchester Music Action Zone or something like that. We ended up going to like Contact Theatre, and they opened my eyes to like, this is a workshop, like this is cool. And I was only, what are they called? I was only partaking in the workshop at the time. And then I came over and eventually moved on to do you remember when we did the beatbox, you let me do that beatboxing thing?
Yeah.
Without that, it was kind of then I realized like, yo, I actually want to do this. This is like really sick. But I never really knew how to approach it. It was only because you'd asked me to do it and give me the opportunity that I kind of took it on board. But then I met this radio station, Reform Radio, went on a few workshops with them. I've done quite a few things with them, but they gave me the opportunity to host my own workshop, go on a workshop to learn how to do a workshop, and then host my own workshop. And I was like, right, okay, I think I've got this. I think I can do this. And then I had a nose operation, so I ended up getting postponed. And then they threw me in the deep end one day when I was assisting a workshop. They said, oh, Corey, by the way, there's like an hour free tomorrow. Do you want to do your workshop? And I was like, right, okay, cool. I guess I'll do it.
And how did it go?
It was, do you know what? It was mad. I wish there was more people there, which was weird. When I first planned it out, I thought surely we're not going to get, surely we're just going to skim through this really, really quick. And it turned out that everybody actually got involved, and there was so much going on that we missed half of like my actual plan, which I'm now finding out is probably really common as you go along. You're going to miss most of the stuff that you do because people are having fun, and it's
hard to keep on point, so to speak, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know, from it I got like a really good buzz. They were quite a good crowd. So it was quite easy, like easing me in. I'd already known them for a couple of weeks as well, which made it a bit easier. But it was really fun. It was like,
you see, that's another thing, another element to you, another branch to your tree, so to speak. Yeah. What I'm going to do now is move on to more about the events that you've been on in the past. Sort of like the most recent one that I've seen was the MIF. Yeah. Manchester International Festival. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, the kind of artists that were on the bill, how you got into it, and any other events that you've got coming up?
Okay. So with the Manchester International Festival, that's the first time I've actually said that correct. If you look on my Instagram, I've tried to say that about 30 times, and every time
I kept calling it Manchester International Network, so I feel where you're coming from.
But yeah, I got that opportunity. As I say, I was doing workshops with Reform Radio, and I originally went on this workshop called Sound Camp. It was like I think it was like an 8-week intensive music course. So it was like every day we were making music. Eventually 8 people got selected and shortlisted to go to a bit more of a serious, like building your career and kind of starting you off on your next stages of your career type thing. And I managed to get through to that. And then from then they planned to give us like one performance, as well as just mentoring along the way. So I'm currently being mentored by a guy called £30 Gentleman in Manchester. Really great guy. But through that, we kind of got Manchester International Festival as one of our performances. So it was like not lucky, I suppose we deserved to be there, should I say.
Definitely.
But just through Reform, Sound Camp, that's kind of how we managed to get that opportunity. And they've given us we performed at Night and Day originally, and they give us our first performance there. And it's just like, since then, they've given us so many opportunities to be able to go and perform, in which leads on to my next point. Through Reform, I met a guy called Adam. He's one of the facilitators there, and he runs his own, I suppose it's like a full family event. It's not just for like music, it's for everything. It's like a proper fair type thing, called Right Tracks. He's got one in Sheffield called Right Tracks on the Bowl Hill on the 3rd of August, which is the next place that we'll be performing at. Myself and my sister Carries. So that's the 3rd of August. And then we've got, we've got the 9th of August, but I'll go back to that because I was still touching on the Reform point. They helped me get We Out Here Festival, which is the 18th of August. And that's kind of Sound Camp related as well. They've kind of helped me through. If I wasn't going to Reform, I would never have had that opportunity to do that. But then keeping it local and like with the artists that I like in Bolton that I've got a lot of time for, we're doing a performance on the 9th of August in the Alma Inn. So that'll be me, Dollar, Danny B, and then Sarah Angel. So that's as well.
I went to the last one that they did. Obviously, we had Danny and Dollar in here on the first podcast. Yeah, really interesting show that. To be fair, the guys have got a lot going on. Big ups to Danny on that one and everybody that's jumping on it. Yeah, definitely. It really is going to be an eye opener because, like Danny was saying, it's gone from having a few people on the first one to a couple of events in. I think they were like just short of 50 people at the last one. Yeah. So all being well, it's going to go off the next one, and I can't wait to watch you, Dollar, Danny, and Sarah do your thing. What I would like to do is wrap up with any links that you have for your social media. Yeah. Obviously, you touched on your merchandise, but if you can just once more tell us about your Spotify link, SoundCloud.
Yeah, I think SoundCloud. I can't not say SoundCloud. SoundCloud is official_superlative. My Instagram is also official_superlative. And then everywhere else, it's at Superlative UK. So that's YouTube, Facebook, anywhere else, basically. You can get all your merchandise, and not just merchandise. There's a couple of other things on the website that we plan to bring up on there, like certain series from YouTube and certain website-related only content that you can get on sprhub.com. And that's it. If you search on Spotify, iTunes, or anything, it's just Superlative.
Seriously, people, this guy has got it going on. He's what you call the full package. So for any more updates, feel free to add Corey Brown on Facebook, aka Superlative. I'll get that right one day. But from now, it's me, Robbie MC, over and out from Underground Sounds Radio at DOA Studios, Bolton.
Underground Sounds Radio.
Yo, it's Superlative. Big up DOA Studios, big up Elisa in the background. This is Bright Lights, Dark Lights. I always forget the name of this tune. I'm not sure why. But yeah, man, let's go with this. Yo, look, yo. Look, when the lights are bright and the stage is set, everybody is watching. That's when I think back the team that I got long distance, but I still know that I got them. It's all love when we link on the ends. Flip back to the days when we linked on the regs. Nowadays it's a couple Skype calls and a couple WhatsApps to see that they're blessed. I'm vexing, cause lately I got the writer's block. When does it stop? Lately I got the life that I wanted. Lately they want the life that I got. Lately it seems like God took the stress on me, blessing me with this freedom that I got. Now I'm in my own yard, gotta put my head down if I wanna put them peas in a pot. Listen, I just spit my words, I don't think about grime, I don't think about road, I don't think about you, man, I don't think about those, I don't think about days when we were down and nobody hollered. Shouts to the man that actually bothered, cause now that I'm back, when you need me you're covered and it's all love. I'm holding it down in the mental, central systems calm but eventful. Now that we got our own yard with a little back garden, I'm taking it back like a rental. Everybody wanted to doubt me, nothing about you is better than I'll be, and nothing about me is ever what you'll be, cause everything I see is bigger than your dreams, it's too deep. But when the lights are gone, it's just me and myself, where did I go wrong? Now I know that I have this freedom, I'm free from the world, but my thoughts still creeping along. Gotta switch this mindset, gotta switch this song, gotta switch this record, cause lately this one is played too long. But how am I gonna get over the hurt if I don't quit the herb? But only the herb is a boost to my work. No one's at home and I need them the most, so I smoke should stop me from feeling the worst. Overimpose my negative thoughts on those who chose to believe me first, but no one knows these dreams, these scenes. It seems that green is making me worse, son. I'm articulate, I don't need to tell lies, I don't need to walk road, I don't need to see you, man, I don't need to see those. I just need to sit down and think how life could actually happen. If I just treat this game like a pattern and my fears fall through when I'm back with a passion and I'm all good. Ha, but you're not that, looking like a Rick Rolling, had a good laugh. Never gonna big you up if they ask me when they're gonna big you up. When? Who's been giving this kid love? Why? Where can I submit my feedback? Poor performance I did not love. No. Lights go off, we don't need that bruv. Hey, it's Superlative.